The fabled Muller report finally came out and revealed what this show had said all along. No Russian collusion. They just had to blame someone for failing to get their latest stooge in, Hillary at the time. And then we had the report, Trump is being cleared, but not quite. There's always a little niggling doubt, isn't there? And this is a typical response to keep the door open for more distraction. That's what the whole thing was about. A bit like putting contentious narratives inside bills so they can argue over it or delay it. Like Brexit and the wall spring to mind. Now, to date, when writing this piece, there is a debate whether they will open up the whole inquiry documents to the public. I wouldn't count on that. That'll be something for Q and his followers to say, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And it's another sideways move and another opportunity to cite the usual bullshit excuse of national security. It's funny they can mention national security for that, and yet nothing happens to people like Obama, Hillary, Mnuchin, Cheney, Eric Prince, Pelosi, the Fed or the IRS, amongst others, who by their very existence are a threat to national security. Yeah, let's ignore all that and focus on the distraction pieces. Like I said, I did warn nothing could come of it or out of it that would have any value to our members or listeners, as we are ahead of the game with regards to knowing stuff that many others don't, and that has and will be borne out. With 2 years to decide what some in the alt media already knew, at a cost of somewhere between $30 and $50 million wasted, all to arrest one or two lower level people and no real high profile ones. And the special counsel office employed 19 lawyers, 40 FBI agents, intelligence analysts, forensic accountants and other staff. About 500 witnesses were interviewed and 13 foreign governments were asked to turn over evidence, 2,800 subpoenas, executed nearly 500 search warrants and obtained more than 230 orders for communications records. For what? Nothing. And for Trump to turn round and say we have to look at the left. No, we have to look at all criminals in all departments of the government. Enough of this left and right shite. That's another illusion. And in particular those who operate outside of the government, like all the 3-letter, 4-letter and 5-letter NGOs, and also its contractors database. There's where the issues really lie. So 2 years has passed now and the Democrats no longer have something to distract the public with. What have they done in 2 years other than hate and criticise Trump? Nothing. All the focus went on that, and their guarantees of Trump has done this, that and the other have now all floundered. So now it's back to the policies again, which I mentioned last week. Or will it? Republicans, what have you really done in 2 years? Have the decent paying jobs returned? Are less Americans in poverty off food stamps? Have a large number of veterans' lives improved? Have the bankruptcies declined? Have our roads, bridges and highways been improved? Have chemtrails stopped? Are children in less danger from pedos, trafficking, vaccines, poor teaching and curriculums? Has the criminal stealing of homes been stopped? Has our food and water been improved? Are we looking after the elderly better? Has justice been improved? Has healthcare and its subsidiaries been improved? have you worked hard to fix or replace the damaged towns and cities damaged by various weather events? The answer is no on all of them. Some small improvements here and there, but in comparison to the spending that's took place in 2017 and 2018, a total of $8 trillion has been spent. And we the people are asking what you've done with it. $8 trillion spent of our money. And it was no difference in the previous government, or the one before that, or the one before that, or the 50 before that either. So I'm not just picking on this government. 8 trillion of our money, and we see zero real or tangible improvements in our lives. And this is what the American people really need to focus on. Not who is more criminal than the other. The reality is all in government circles have been involved in some sort of skullduggery. None are clean. But the real crime is what they are perpetuating is a daily event. And the siphoning of our funds out of a system that we the people are paying for and yet get jack shit in return. Look what happened over Christmas and New Year. The government was shut down. And other than some subsidiary government staff who didn't get paid initially, did you notice a difference? Did you notice it was back open? No. Because it's not operating for us is why. So you carry on with the distraction piece of the Russian collusion, or you can demand that the $4 trillion per year allocated as a budget is actually being spent on us, we the people. Not phony foundations, government contractors, conglomerates, NGOs, fake security groups, Israel, 900 overseas bases and a ridiculous number of American bases on home soil that don't get used for American purposes anyway. 535 politicians all fiddling whilst America burns. Nero fiddled with a violin. These people fiddle with our minds, humanity, each other's private parts, our economy, and worst of all, fiddle with our children, either physically, mentally or sexually. And yet we the people don't hold them accountable. And you'll get clowns making Kim accountable. Really? That in and of itself is why the shit show continues. The wrong focus. Like I say, it's funny that the few who have stood up and tried to fix things and make things fair again come under far more scrutiny than the ones doing things against you. Like the idiot's questioning Kim's divorce. What actual difference does it make to your lives if Kim has been divorced, evicted or not? See, it's far easier to blame the few who have stood up, you see, than for some to do something themselves. That's the key here. Either directly or indirectly as support to those who will risk their lives for the benefit of the all. The mindset has to change, and a total redirect of where your energy goes. Arguing over Republican and Democrat and Comey, Muller, McCabe, Trump, Pelosi, Clinton, Page, Strzok, Sessions, Rosenstein has achieved what? Nothing. Just as I warned it would 2 years back. They love to provide us with distractions. And both sleepers and awake people gobble it all up like a free buffet. But after the buffet is gone, the big question is again, what happens next? What happens next?